Today's episode begins in the school hallway. Mitchell's friend hears the murmur spreading. Nobody understands why he didn't even submit an application for university, being so intelligent. Why? They whisper, surprised. They say he would have done very well on the entrance exam, but the boy only smiles in disbelief at all of it. That guy is crazy. To his classmate, Mitchell is unbearable. He acts as if life always bends to his will, as if poverty or difficulties were only minor obstacles. He thinks he's the protagonist of a movie. His friend grumbles, certain that outside of here, the real world will show him cruelty. The dazzling image of Guiley appears. He's going to regret it. He'll live as a loser until he loses everything. And he finishes with a macabre smile on his face. Hailey was suddenly called, her heart tightening as she followed the boy to a secluded place. The cold breeze hit her face, but it was the weight of his words that froze her inside. "You know that Jijin's family has money, right?" he asked as if it were obvious. Hail lowered her gaze, murmuring that she didn't know. Disbelief echoed in his voice. "You don't know." He continued relentlessly, saying there were many girls like her around Mitchell ready to replace her. Whether Mitchell decided to live with Hailey happily or ended up ruined, there would always be others. His words were like sharp knives, trying to cut her down to nothing. When she didn't respond, he sneered. "Even until the end, you're really shameless." But he didn't stop there. Walking her side, he threw out the final accusation. If it weren't for Hailey, Mitchell could have had an easy life. She was shocked, but soon recovered, grabbing the boy's shirt. "Don't say that." And with unexpected firmness, she lifted her face. "I will be fine. Maybe it won't be like the others, but I'm still going to be happy with him. I like Michel Moutou." "No." He interrupted her, laughing. "You don't understand. You don't know what he gave up because of you." He let out a short sigh, almost like a statement of fact. "I heard he moved." "Congratulations," someone says, dryly. Cut to Maitel carrying boxes. He looks over the new place. What is this? Neither above nor below street level. I had no choice but to accept what there was. I'm going to work hard, make a lot of money, and next time I swear we won't live where the window is at ankle height. He smiled, tired but determined. It's a little low, a little narrow, a little cold, but it's the first home I'm going to share with Hailey. The sound of the door. Mitchell turns around. "You're home, wifey." I laughed in relief. "I thought you'd get lost and become a missing girl. If you had been a minute later, your husband would have already run out to look for you." She threw the jacket at him, leaving him baffled. He was surprised when she landed a shoe on his chest. "What?" "Hey," he replied firmly. "I'm upset because you didn't come to get me." She didn't stop. She went at him, hitting him with her fists until she grabbed his shirt tightly. Her eyes filled with tears. "Ah," Mitchell murmured, feeling the weight of her despair. She looked at him, her voice choked. "I'm hurt. How do you expect me to repay you? You know I can't." Tears streamed down as she continued, her voice broken. "You could have let me live miserably, die alone, whatever my fate. I was always that kind of girl, just living until the end. So why did you let me wreck your life?" She collapsed into tears against his chest. Mitchell wrapped her in a firm hug, holding her head, stifling the sobs. "You didn't destroy anything." In the small makeshift house, with boxes still scattered on the floor, Mitchell reflected in silence. "You made me want to live well." He remembered that he had only followed that path because he didn't want to see Hailey cry. We see that in the present, then not Jaws. Apparently he was remembering those moments. Every time he managed to save a good amount of money, it seemed Hilly was already crying or had just been crying. We see more of his messages saying he was going to get the money, but he knew. This time would not be different. "You're going to cry for me again. This time too." It didn't matter what he did. That love, burdened with debts, sacrifices and renunciations, continued. In the end, they always returned to the same point. We will always return to our home, to that suffocatingly unhappy space for the two of us. We change scene. Hailey was alone folding clothes. She put the garments away thoughtfully. Her gaze stopped at a white shirt hanging in a closet. "It reminds me of him with bags. I brought clothes. You said I could. So here they are. I'm going to leave them here." I said that. I didn't think you'd actually bring them. You shouldn't have brought them. No, it's not that. Give them to me. I'll put them away. She ran her fingers over the fabric. It smells good, she thought. Even the clothes end up resembling the owner. Neat, cold, restrained, exactly like having you by my side. She held the garment against her chest. Since this size fits your body so perfectly, looking at it like this, it seems huge. It's like a blanket. She buried her face in the fabric, inhaling the scent, and murmured, "It's as if I could sleep beside him. I'd never need a blanket. His warmth would be enough." Embarrassed by her own thoughts, she told herself it was better to just go to sleep. She lay down, apparently asleep, but her eyes betrayed restlessness. The emptiness beside her made her feel lonely, and a sigh slipped from her lips. Suddenly, she sensed a presence. She turned and, surprised, saw Teo sitting beside her, dressed in a vest and tie, his gaze tired but fixed on her. Teo. He leaned closer, gently holding her. "You said you couldn't come," she murmured in confusion. "It's so late," he replied in a low, firm voice. "I missed you, so I came." She blinked in surprise. "At this hour? You're not well." Hailey's eyes widened, but there was no rejection. He moved even closer, and she blushed intensely. As he wrapped around her, she tried to protest with a weak voice. "You just got here. Are you really going to do this?" Teo looked at her intensely, lips curved in a provocative smile. "You're not asking me to stop." He brought his face close, almost brushing hers. "Just say the word and I'll stop." Hailey, however, said nothing. She simply remained there, heart racing, unable to resist. Teo then pulled her into his arms, and the silence of the night was filled only with the muffled sound of their breathing. He spoke as if he were forgiving, but his hands showed no mercy. Why? Because he was so good at it. Then, noticing the watch on his wrist, Hailey felt afraid of what it meant. Remembering her suspicions, she grabbed his arm, stood up, and moved aside, looking at him seriously. "Teo, what the hell are you doing?" He only smiled. "Answer me." He touched her face, laughing softly. "Do you really want to know?" He pulled her close and whispered, "If you find out, you'll end up crying. But if you want, I'll tell you." With heavy breath he asked, "Tell me, Hailey, do you really want to know?" She suddenly woke up, completely flushed. She sat up sweating, her heart pounding. Her phone lit up with a notification, catching her attention. Teo, next to his motorcycle, had sent a message saying he had just left work. "I hope you're having sweet dreams," followed by an emoji. It was early morning, 3:30 a.m. The chapter ends with Teo staring at his phone in silence.